Welcome back, everybody. Okay, time for one last holiday recipe. I love to make fudge during the holidays. I love to have it around the house for people who stop over, and you can pull it out and have a quick, easy dessert. Great gift. I like making homemade fudge for my dad, and I have a couple of different recipes. This one is if you need a go-to, quick, never fail fudge recipe. This is the easiest fudge recipe ever, and that's what I call it. So it starts out with 3 tablespoons of butter, and I like to do this in a non-stick skillet. You can also do it if you're worried about putting it right on the heat. You can do it with a double boiler method to melt this all together. You could even do it very, very carefully, careful, in the microwave, doing it in like 30 seconds and another 30 seconds, stirring occasionally. You just don't want to overdo it. So 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 can, and this is the 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Not to be confused with the evaporated milk. I'm using the sweetened condensed milk. So the key is you got to get every little last bit of that out of there. Sometimes I'll double or triple this recipe. This fits perfectly though in one of those 8x8 pans, so it's a nice size. If you want to double the recipe, certainly just do it in a 9x13. Okay. Now we're going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. And this is a chocolate fudge recipe, so you can't go wrong with chocolate fudge. And I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips. Because we've got all that sweetened condensed milk in there, it's going to mellow out and it's not going to taste super duper dark chocolate. If you wanted to, you could also use milk chocolate chips. 3 cups. So then when you're making fudge or you're making caramels, it's one of those things where you really need to babysit it. I don't want you to go check your email or go, go on Facebook or, write out your Christmas cards during this time. You spend a lot of money on these ingredients. The chocolate chips are pricey, the butter. So you really need to be right there in the moment with this. But Ireland and I, my daughter and I, love to put on Christmas music and kind of just get busy in the kitchen and have some fun. Make a day of it or an afternoon of it. Okay, this is just about there. Now, one of my tips and tricks to making fudge is either foil line or plastic wrap line your pan and spray it with cooking spray after you foil lined it or plastic wrap lined it, or lightly butter it. We want to be able to get this fudge right out. We don't want it stuck in the pan. So this looks good. It's all melted, and once those chocolate chips melt, we're done. Up to you whether you want to put nuts in it. I love to put walnuts in my fudge. Bob loves walnuts. You could do pecans, or you could just do it no nuts. Ann doesn't like nuts in her fudge. That means this whole batch is for me, Ann. Sorry. Love you anyway. We'll do another batch without the nuts. But this comes right out. I'm using a non-stick pan, which works really, really nicely. Or as mentioned, you can do the whole double boiler method. And then you just want to spread it out and let it soften. I like to do this at room temperature. If you need to hurry it along, you could throw it in the fridge. The other thing that you can do, and we had an expert candy maker on the other day, is if you want to do this, you don't have to, but just open a window for a little bit, and that cools it down right away. So just spread it, and once it's cooled a little bit, the nice part is you can just cover it with the plastic wrap, and then after it hardens, look at this. Here it is, all hardened. Unwrap it, pull it out, and you're ready to cut into nice square pieces. So easiest ever fudge. It is fantastic, and we'll put the recipe on the website. We'll be right back.